Movie-going audiences have seen most parts of the world on their screens, but Billy August's new film, Smiller's Sense of Snow, took his crew to a location which, until now, has been considered impossible by Hollywood. The thriller starts in Denmark, but the story comes to a climax in Greenland, among some of the most beautiful but inhospitable terrain in the world. As director Billy August wanted as much realism as possible, he decided to risk the elements and trust that the gamble would pay off. For the film's star, Julia Ormond, it was a unique opportunity to experience one of the world's special places.
The Greenlanders that I've spoken to, they say as soon as you step off the plane, you breathe in and there's a filling of the lungs and a freedom and a space that is unparalleled anywhere else. I think when you fly over it and you fly into Greenland, you really view it as being like the top of the world.
What I think is so powerful about the landscape in Greenland really is that it's so different from other parts in the world, and it has a very majestic expression. I mean, and you can always feel that human beings cannot change anything. You can just live here, and you can just love it and respect it and try to deal with it. But it's so powerful itself.
I think what really, really surprised me about it was the variety. Because you sort of think about snow and you sort of think, well, yes, it's an island covered in snow, that's really interesting. And you come and it's extraordinary.
Julia's co-stars, Gabriel Byrne and Richard Harris, shared her reactions to the winter landscape.
Well, I think it's amazing. I mean, it's worth doing the movie just to come here. But that wasn't the reason I did the movie. But it's just astonishing. I tried to call some friends of mine the other day from here to try and describe it. You can't. There aren't words created enough and explicit enough to describe it. It's absolutely amazing.
It's kind of like a cliche to say that nature dwarfs man in a landscape like this. But you look around at this and you feel how inconsequential you really are.
And it's also what our story is about, that people from this part of the world has a completely different attitude to nature and to the fundamental things in life. And therefore, it was very, very important for me that we went all the way up here to Greenland and did the film here.
No one had managed to shoot a major film in Greenland until now because the logistics were so daunting. But producer Bernd Eichinger knew that he could rely on Billy August.
He knows exactly what he wants, so you can really make a plan, and that's also the reason why we dared, so to speak, to come here. Because, I mean, of course, you see, if you don't have a plan here, you're lost. And you have to have some courage to come here with a whole crew.
I mean, in the weather in Greenland, you never know. I mean, it can change in an hour. Suddenly it's plus 5 degrees, and the next hour it's minus 40. The weather conditions are very, very unpredictable.
The wind chill factor is the main thing. When you get up on the top and the wind's blowing, it gets very cold. For us, I mean, we've got the jackets and the gear, it's not so bad, but the camera is like suffering quite a bit. The batteries that we've got are pretty powerful batteries, but as it's so cold, they're dropping very quickly, which is a problem with the camera because it's losing speed. It's a very good camera, we're having to cover it up, but we're getting bigger batteries to make it work better. I mean, it's okay, but it's suffering. Minus 35, 40 degrees, and it's not enjoying it.
Despite the temperatures, and again in the interests of realism, Richard Harris agreed to take the plunge.
I'm the only actor in the world, I think, who ever decided for the sake of a movie to go into the water in the Arctic. It was a very foolish thing to have done, but I can't resist a challenge. If I'm asked to do it, well, I wasn't really asked. They said, if you'd like, I said, nah. Then I went out and I thought, well, come on, Richard. The challenge was there, so I took it.
Cut.
I survived it. Don't know how. Silly boy. Silly Richard Harris. But I did it. There we are.
For me, one of the things that I really love about what I do is the opportunities that you get and the moments that you stand in a place and you say, I'm here and this is what I do for a living, and it's really amazing. It's really amazing.